can you do now? Also looking at staff training, you know, and maybe even that means doing a needs assessment, but breaking down different types of training modules that are needed within your organization, whether you're not doing that through short in-services, as a component within new employee orientation, as part of seasonal staff training, and then also looking at what resources are available nationally to support the work of both your ADA coordinator and your accessibility management team. I love the ADA National Network webinars. They provide monthly webinars. They're all archived online. They have some of the top experts in the field that have made presentations on everything from service animals to making PDFs accessible. It's a really awesome program, and it's totally free. And you can go back and listen to it at your leisure if you were not able to participate with it real time. The National ADA Symposium is the single greatest annual event that brings together people with ADA compliance responsibilities. They always have more than 1,000 people that attend. They have several tracks, concurrent tracks going on. I have some agencies that they'll either rotate staff between that event and the National Recreation and Park Association Congress or their state Congress, but it's definitely the conference for ADA coordinators, and I would always highly recommend that program. That comes up in June this year. Their registration is open right now, but it is definitely one of those programs that the registration ends up filling to capacity, and then they have to start a wait list for it. Another thing that you could do that is connected to the symposium is the ADA Coordinator Certificate Program that's run through the Great Plains ADA Center through the University of Missouri, but that's actually a certificate program, and it supports your professional development as an ADA coordinator. It's highly recommended, and it serves as the foundational knowledge that any ADA coordinator should have out in the field. I have a lot of entities that they end up requiring that of not only their ADA coordinator, but several members of their accessibility management team. So that was training. Other ways, community engagement, I would always highly recommend starting to meet with those different disability advocacy groups in your community, looking at focus groups, interviews, one-on-one meetings. I just participated in our little town for Disability Awareness Month. We have several activities that are scheduled throughout the year, but one of those activities is a breakfast meeting with the mayor of disability advocates and city staff. And so the people with disability, they're all invited. They have very specific interest areas, and they come in and they've picked like 4 or 5 key topics for that year, and folks are purposely seated in interest groups and focus groups. So they spend the breakfast time talking at their table about the issues involved, whether or not it's housing or transportation or employment or parks and recreation or special events. And then the mayor, at the end of halfway through that meeting, he actually facilitates the discussion and asks each group to report back publicly at that meeting about what their concerns are and what their recommendations are for improving that area of interest. And so he hears it directly from members of the community, and it's probably the only event that I know of that I've actually seen a mayor take the role of doing that. And so I give him a lot of credit for taking that on. the so I would always recommend focus groups,